question. How many of you guys, collectors especially, have experienced and lived with the tribes of the Omo Valley of Ethiopia? You can raise your hand. Okay, well, I thought so. Well, that's what I wanted to change. So my whole life, I've been very interested in traditional cultures. The more different from me, the better. And after spending months living and painting in India and Morocco, Japan, I wanted to experience something even more unreachable and even more adventurous. So I was following a photographer on Instagram who takes photos of tribes, and he followed my art, so we got to chatting, and we made one of those plans that you're never sure if it's ever going to happen or not, but it sounds nice in your head. And then years later, he sends a message. He says it's happening, let's go. We're going to go and travel to the tribes of Ethiopia like we talked about years ago. So the plans became real. I looked at my partner and Sal, and I asked, should I do it? You know, it didn't help that they were currently engaged in a war with Eritrea. But she said, yes, of course you should, and she was absolutely right. I told the photographer I'm coming, and the adventure was on. There was a lot of trepidation and discomfort about it at the start, you know? We'll be living in tents with the tribes for months, about 12-hour drive away from the nearest hospital. There was a war zone, there were shootings, so there's a lot of problems like that. But I let curiosity guide me, and I showed up, ready to experience and learn everything that I can about the tribes in the Omo Valley. You know, I believe that when you want to paint a subject matter, it is important to experience it personally yourself. This will allow your personal angle to come through. And experience it I did. We lived, ate, slept next to them, learning their culture and way of life. I got to know each tribe and each person that I painted, and it was the most rewarding artistic experience and honor to share their stories through my paintings. I was so excited about it that I assumed that because I'm really into this, that when I'm back and I show people what I made, they're all gonna go crazy about it, as much as me. Well, that's not exactly what happened. As you can imagine, collectors did not immediately burst through the door to collect paintings that tribes had never heard about, to my surprise. However, this was the most genuine series I've ever made, and I persisted with my curiosity as the only fuel. After a couple of years, this curiosity became infectious, or maybe I wore people down, and they began to collect these works and become interested in the stories and cultures of these tribes. That's why it means so much to me that this particular painting, the one up front, won the Best of Show award, as it gave me the opportunity to share their story with you. It is my sincere hope that these paintings can transmit my curiosity about the way of life of these tribes to you, and it can encourage you to explore some of the unique ideas that you may have and that you're curious about, but are worried to start on. When you care about something deeply, I think it comes through, and people can really feel that. And the adventures you experience along the way will stay with you forever. So I want to thank Art Renewal Center for upholding their mission of putting realism painting back on the map and restoring it to a position of grace and respect, as well as Southeast for hosting us today. And